First, let me introduce myself. My name is Fernando Rabelo. I'm the founder of Quarto Mundo, and I'm the creator of The Light of the Darkness and developer of The Light of the Darkness Origins. And I'm gonna play the game, make a playthrough, showing the game to you and answering questions and interacting with you and telling about the story and other stuff about the universe and the game itself. So let's start.
Ekokre Sofiu Hokamotode. Oscaris Opólidas Oamugal Hofu. Luau Nômega Repashihuo Amuánico Metavutier Vonganto. Opas sabe jogar partos de compao Sugurusu e pressoinia dado rua logirie ou amundo macen onde jolomos. Uta resue esquecemente. E as politas de pede segurem nuas parte ou rasgo ter suas peras. O rolute o selo albo. Céfios. Que o peteorro insignificante polida, dotrea nunca starres pediu. Vieto ratodeu, capítulo da nege, aecom. Sotaciedeu verre, cefios, canicoroe, o peitoe, os que semente.
So this first prologue tells a little bit about the context of the story and in general what's going on.
No Romeal, Arihal,
There is this second video.
no fundo daquela verre, Cefios ruvuli rogimiasue, coe ulojunfo, oxiuila, amo criature inexpressível, arrondo, unas. Ao meu deviato, enturreu meu rogidobrador, o selo aquela fonte, o negiante. Eu fico o halve, aquela rogi maneral, e tostine o ele. Sareu, exulube o ofesar, ecoa o nanco, sem subiu.
So, first I forgot to thank you all to be here, to give me the opportunity to show the game to you. It's a pleasure to me. The development of The Light of the Darkness is a long journey. This game is been developing for a lot of years, and it was a long journey. And The Light of the Darkness is a action RPG. Side scroller action RPG with elements of Souls-like, and it's a Metroidvania game, of course, and it has some very unique features that I'm going to show to you. But as other Metroidvania games, we have a big environment that you can explore with some freedom. In the beginning of the game, of course, we have no map because we didn't get any. And to get the maps, we need to get those yellow crosses for each biome, which what I'm gonna to do first. And as you could see in the prologue and the two videos that appear before the game starts, this game is very rely a lot in lore, in story. It is a story-driven game with a lot of characters, events, and etc. I'm gonna just skip the narrator. The game has a narrator that explain some of the events of what we are seeing and playing. And later we're gonna understand who the character is. Let me skip that. This first area, it's kind of a tutorial area, so it's where player can learn the basic movements and get the first skills using the game. Every time we get a new item, new everything, we're gonna see a screen like that showing a little resume, a little text about what this item does. If you press select the button, depending on the control, it's different, but we can go directly to the menu and see the storing lore elements about that particular item and other information like this one and etc. Let me just change the weapon here. Also gonna skip this narration. Of course, you can see the narration yourselves playing the demo. The demo has this section. The level design also rely a lot in shortcuts, so some of the player progression happens when player opens some kind of barrier and etc. So we can explore the environment faster than before, and sometimes appear those visual tutorials every time we have some game feature that it's difficult to learn. This feature is presented through a text and a video to help the player to understand how to use it. Here we are understanding how to absorb essence, which is an important element in the game. Every time a creature dies, every time you kill a creature, the creature bleeds what we call essence, and player can absorb this essence, and this essence make the player stronger, and also we can learn natures and other stuff that we can use in the game. Here is a tutorial about the map itself. As I can show, this is a feature that players like a lot in the game because the game map it's dynamic. You can see the map just by zooming out the camera and zooming the camera. And now I got the first map. So it's the map for the pit, which is the first biome. You can now see what we can explore, and we can of course zoom in, zoom out to see the map. And at this time, there is of course places that we cannot go because we don't have the resources to do that. And here is the first skill that we learn in the game. When we explore the game, there is those statues, which we call memory statues. They hold memories of skills that the player can learn. And this first skill is dodging. It's a core mechanic in the game, which we can push ourselves backwards and avoid the enemy attacks. And related to the actions, it's it have somehow similar to Souls-like game because we have a stamina bar. This is now a nature, as though this earth entity dies, he bleeds essence, and this essence can give us the earth nature. And this UI is explaining that. When we observe a new nature, the nature appear in the weapon wheel, but I can still I can't use yet because I didn't absorb enough of nature to be able to use. As you can see in the top left corner of the screen, there is a green bar, which is the stamina and it's similar to Souls-like game. So you need to imagine it imagine. You need to see if you are using stamina too much. If your stamina is depleted, you are unable to perform actions, so you become vulnerable to enemy attacks. And of course, in the beginning, we have this weapon, which is not a good weapon. Doesn't have a particular attack pattern. Just have one type of attack. Now I absorb enough of earth, nature, so I can use it now. And this is a curie item, so I can now cast nature, which is something that I can use in the combat, installation, and other stuff. Now I learn a double jump, so I can jump higher, and I can access new parts of the environment. Every time we get a memory, we can go to the menu and see memories in texts and reports the characters, some characters write to other characters, so we can understand about the story and about what's going on. But also the items also have descriptions which reveal stuff about the lore and the story itself. And on the status menu, we can see status stats. As it's an action RPG, there's a lot of stats that contribute in different ways to the gameplay itself. And also there is a help section where the player can learn the game features, the game mechanics, and etc. Now I can use also, I can cast earth to kill the enemies.
Estão perguntando pelas cabeças no fundo, o que são? Uma pergunta aqui.
The heads. Yeah, let me explain a little bit about what's going on here. This is those lands, they exist in the. Let me explain first the universe itself. The Light of the Darkness takes place in a different universe that it's a different mythology that creatures and the things that exist in this mythology are original. So there is no horses, no vampires, no dragons, etc. And it's a universe divided between light and darkness. And this place that we are playing, doing this origin story, it took place between those worlds. And on which world, the dark world and the light world, there is beings, which we call pales and darks, and they live in war, doing the prejudgment they have with each other. And this place commonly used as a death zone. So it's commonly used for the pales and dark to kill each other, to execute themselves. And in this story, the pales lost a battle, and they was bringed here to be executed. So they are casted into this pit, and there is a lot of bodies here. So the heads are just something that was made longer time ago for one of those factions. There is also those living bodies, which is explained later in the game. There is a character here, which is the lord of those lands, and he's a necromancer. And he basically used this hatred between pales and darks to gather bodies, basically.
Cepheus.
Now I learned gliding. I'll be able to glide to the left, and There is not, I don't know if I answer your question about the heads. There is not a very specific answer about that. There is a lot of stuff here in the environment that are not completely explained. It's just something that you can, using your imagination, but it's some stuff that Pales and Dark do to themselves in a very macabre way. I don't know if I answer good in this question in particular. Now I learned the nature of light, which is another nature. I can now cast light. And we have weapons which we can use to attack. We have the spells, and we also have items which we can throw, which is another element that can be used in the combat itself. And here we get some of those items.
Cepheus.
Here's a tutorial telling about this mechanic, and each type of throwable item has different behavior. Like the spike, they can go through the objects that he hit. The daggers, they stop the first object that they hit. And there is objects that are better to throw into the water because we have a kind of water physics. So depending on the area of the object, how the object enters into the water, the object can go farther into the water or not. And like this, a dagger, they don't go too far into the water, and they are slower than the dart, but they have a bigger area, so it's easier to hit the enemy. This dart, they are faster, but they can go farther into the water, but it's more difficult to hit. This is a better version of the dart. We can throw 3 instead of 1, and we have also versions for the other throwables as well. Now we learn how to use our wings. One of the most important features in the game is the flying. Cepheus can fly in 2 different ways. At this time, there is one vertical way to fly, which is very similar to Demon's Crest. But at this time, we doesn't have the skill yet. We can only jump in 2 times. Later, we can learn how to jump infinite times, so like flying vertically. And there is the horizontal flying, which is the most coolest one, which we can fly freely in any direction and in this fashion. And we can do acrobatic movements. We can go up, we can go down, we can flap the wings to go faster. In the beginning of the game, we doesn't have much stamina, so we cannot fly too far. But as we evolve into the game, we are able to fly more for a longer time. Now I get a shield. We have also shields in the game, and has also a mechanic similar to Souls-like game. So when we have the shield, when something hits the shield, it consumes stamina. If you don't have stamina anymore, we are not able to defend ourselves. And the stamina consumption is related to the weight of the damage that the shield has taken. So if it's a very heavy attack, it will consume, and if the shield are not so much heavy, it will consume a lot of stamina. If the attack is lighter, it will consume less stamina, and has this factors: the weight of the shield and the weight of the attack. And you have some shields in the game with different usages. There's some items that can defend different natures. I need to show about the natures. I'm gonna do that soon. In this section, we're gonna need to take to use a flying to get through those platforms, and we need to go here to take this key, because otherwise we'll not be able to continue through the game. And there is also a checkpoint here. Those spiders, they serve as checkpoints. When you touch, the game is saved, and if you die, we're gonna back here. We're gonna lose all our deep essence. The deep essence, it's something that we acquired when we absorb the enemies. Now I have 170 amount of deep essence. If I die, I'm gonna lose everything that I absorbed. But when we reach the limit, 285, we're gonna leveling up, and we of course will not lost what we use it to level up. Here I can show about the natures themselves, because the combat, it's rely a lot on the natures. The enemies that has different weakness and resistance to natures, like those worms that we call vugos. They are light creatures, so if you cast a light into them, they will not be harmed. By the opposite, we're gonna healing them, because they are light creatures and we casting light on them, so it's not bad for them. But the earth, it's a different story. So player needs to be smart in order to understand how to using the attacks, the spells, and etc., in order to kill the enemies easier. Otherwise, it's gonna be harder to engage into the combat. Like if I cast the same earth spell in an earth entity, it will result the same effect. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna healing the entity instead, making harm. There is more places to explore in the pit, as you can see, but as we don't have much time, I will just skip this section and continue to explore the dead plains. Now we go back to the dead plains. We don't have a map for the dead plains yet, so we needed to explore without knowing where we are going. So generally, the first thing that player want to do when he reach a new area is to find the map. The map is not here exactly. Now this is a tutorial about the wheels for both weapons and the spells. There is those wheels which we can use to change what is equipped. We can
25 minutos. 25 minutos, só para gerenciar o tempo.
All right, and we can change what it's equipped, accessing the wheels. At this time, I doesn't have much equipment, so it doesn't make much sense to using the wheels. But as we are getting more and more items, weapons, and natures, this is how we manage what we are using. Now there is a memory that probably is related to this barrier. Explain a little bit about what it is. Those mystic barriers, they can only be opened with natures. You need to cast the correct nature, and one tip to know what nature opens, it's the color. like if you see the color of the natures, we can see that the brown color it's for the earth, and the gem that it's on the barriers it's brown, so probably it's the earth that can open. So spells can also open barriers. The spells in this game can be used in many different situations, not just in the combat. It can also be used to open those barriers and sometimes to interact with the environment, also to make the possibility to reach new areas. I'm gonna get a new weapon, which is this one. So I'm gonna open the wheel to change what it's equipped, and it's a better weapon in terms of attack pattern because it can attack faster. It have multiple type of attacks, and it also have some special attacks like this one, which we can also use. But as you can see, it's a good weapon to fight against a big enemy like that. But maybe it's not so good to like hit enemies in the air because it has a piercing attack, so the area of attack it's smaller than the other weapon, which does a vertical attack that can hit easier the enemies. So for hitting this frog-like creature, it's easier to hit with the Bellionio Lamino, but it's harder with the Spheroiduro Lamino. But the Spheroiduro Lamino, it's a better weapon overall during the damage and the fact that it has faster attacks.
There's a question about the biomes available in the final version of the game.
The final game you're gonna have 5 biomes, which we can see here on the map. That is those one, and the pit it's the smaller one. It's the first area, the smaller area, and that will be that amount. It's not a huge amount, but as this is not gonna be a very incredible, very long game, but we're focused in creating density, creating to the contents that the game have. We're gonna have a. It's not density the word. It's the. What is a better word than that? It's we're focusing having good content for what the game has, and not have content by the content, just for the sake of having more content. Here there is this other barrier, which is a socket barrier. I need a key, which I don't have yet. So I need to kill those guys to be able to kill. And I'm not explaining about that other statue, just learning a new nature. That other memory statue that is over here, they learn combining spells. Until I got here, I could cast the natures themselves. Now I have darkness, but I was not able to mix them. And one of the very cool feature in this game, it's the possibility to combining the spells. So I have light and I have earth. I can combine both and cast earth ray. So this spell can create a status, as you can see, and player needs to also learn and understand how the status work, because sometimes it's not good to release a status like this status make the enemies heavier, but also can raise the physical resistance. So it's gonna make it harder for me to kill it. So in this case, using this particular combination are not good for this particular kind of enemy. And the game has a lot of natures and a huge amount of combinations. So now I can also show the earth and darkness, which is one of the most cooler one we can create in this spell, which is very, very useful in many situations. I got the key, I can open this barrier and continue the exploration. The environment also generally have those little gems, which it's kind of similar to Castlevania. It's something that you can always seeking to break. And sometimes you're gonna drop a little gem, which you can use to heal yourself or to get essence. Let me show you those gems. So I get 9 of them, and I can use this gem to heal myself. And there is 3 types of gems, but basically 2. The yellow gems, they heal you immediately. They heal the health and they heal the mystical essence, which you use for the casting spell. And the blue and the red gems, they create essence. It's the same essence that you absorb from the enemies. So it's like a repository of essence. You can use it to leveling up, or you can use also to heal, because when you have some deep essence, you can regenerate your health and your mystical essence. It's a skill that you got later in the game, not at the start, but it's something that you can also do. So you can use the gems in the both ways. So if you don't have yellow gems to heal yourself immediately, you can manage to using the blue and the red ones to get deep essence and regenerate yourself. The regeneration is slow, of course. It's not immediate healing, but of course you can manage during a combat. You can use it and avoid the danger for some moment in order to wait a little bit to heal the health and continue the combat. Here it's also showing the difference between using weapons, like using this weapon to break those gems are harder because the type of the attack, but if I equip the other weapon, the attack pattern is different, so it's make easier to break stuff. Let me continue. Let us continue. So the map is over there. I'm gonna focus to get the map first, so we can know where we are going. I'm gonna fly to make it easier to me to reach there. I'm gonna avoid the enemies for a little bit. The map is here. And let's take it. So we take the map. Now we can see the map of Death Plains. This is the Death Plains. And before continue to the right, I'm gonna go back to the left because there is a shortcut. Here it's a memory that's different from the others. This memory can reveal other points of interest in the map. and let's see what it is. So let's kill this little guy. As you can see, on the top part of the map, it's appear a yellow circle, and that's a place that I can go and get some stuff. There is some memories that they appear in chain, so you're gonna get one memory to get the another, to get the another, and if you manage to get all of them, you're gonna get a special item. Now I open a shortcut, so here is the beginning, kind of the beginning of that plant. I can save it here, and now I'm not required to explore all that path that I explored before. I can just go through here, and I will go immediately to the next section.
There is a question about the stamina. The max stamina increased with level up the player.
Yeah, the stamina increase with leveling up, and there is 2 items in the game. That is 2 unique items that each item that you get, you're gonna double your stamina forever. So if you find those 2 items, you're gonna have a lot of more stamina. Now I got the next piece of memory from Christine's. The second one, of course, player can read the text to understand what about it, and it show another yellow circle down there in the frozen seclusion, probably. So not something that we're gonna get anytime soon, so we can forget for now. Those tombstones, they drop tags, and those tags are related to the Kickstarter. So everyone who backed the project in the past in the Kickstarter, we're gonna have their name in those tombstones. And when we break those tombstones, we can get the tags with the names, and the backer can searching for his name during the game. Each tombstone drop 1 unique tag, and this tag will be also item that can be used in the combat, and the item we're gonna get, we're gonna be stronger and stronger as players collect those tags. So it will be also be a useful item for all the players, not just the backers. But when you go to the item menu, player we're gonna able to see the tags that was collected. This is a not skippable narrator, so let's wait till he stop to talk. But what he's talking, it's related to what we have down here. The main objective in the game, it's to reach a dark settlement, which is on the farthest right corner of the map. That is the face of Akon there, and the Akon is the last boss in the game. But to reach him, you need to open those 4 barriers, and the keys are spread in the lands of Oblivion, in the other biomes. So we need to explore the biomes and find the keys, open those keys to be able to get to the Akon area and be able to challenge him and fight with him. And it's what the narrator is talking about. Here it's an important place in the game. It's kind of hub. It's have these teleporters, and those teleporters can make player travel to the other biomes, and player can explore any biome he wants for this point. It's up to the player. Of course, there is biomes that are more harder to explain, to explore than the others. This teleporter here brings us back to the pit, and in the beginning of the game, if you go to the left, this teleporter was disabled, so we was not able to use it. But now we can. And at the beginning of the game, it doesn't have double jump, so we was not able to reach here. Now we can reach this area. So if you want, we can explore this new section. There is other sections in the pit that can be explored yet now. That was couldn't in the past, but I will not do now because I prefer to show you the other biomes in the game. Yeah, because we don't have a lot of time to show stuff. This is Frozen Seclusion. It's a frozen area, which is very beautiful, and it's a harder area to explore now. So the enemies are very deadly, more difficult to kill, and take more damage, of course. And maybe it's better for the player to explore other biomes. But if player wants more challenging, of course he can explore here. And of course, if he explore here, the essence reward it's greater because the enemy are harder to kill. To the right, it's the boss area. We cannot reach yet. I cannot show you the map because I don't have. I will not explore this area now because I need to show you the other areas. That is also this other area, which we call Burning Lair. It's the opposite of Frozen Seclusion. It's a flaming cave with lava and deadly creatures. It's the most difficult area to explore in the game. Player gonna need to move a lot. There is a lot of movement challenges, and the creatures are very difficult to kill. They took a lot of damage, as you can see, so I'll just avoid to come here. It's very difficult now. There is here a disabled teleporter that we can enable exploring the level. Probably gonna have a teleporter in some places that we're gonna make us here, and every time we travel through a teleporter, the teleporter is enabled, so we can use it again. We can use it back and forth, basically. And there is this other area, which is the more Castlevania-like area, which is called Ancient Ruins. Let me use the Earth Spike spell to break everything. I was very lucky now because I was almost dead, but I got leveling up and regenerated my health completely. Here I opened another shortcut because, as you can see, there is a passage from the Dead Plains to the Ancient Ruins, but if I got to that path, there was this barrier blocking my progression. Now I opened the barrier and was able to continue to progressing. I'm gonna back to the Ancient Ruins, but first I'm gonna show this other area in the pit there, and it's something important also in the game. The player are not He is important in terms of the story, but in terms of the gameplay itself, the creatures doesn't treat Cepheus. The system is not different from the play from other creatures, so the creatures they fight each other depending on rules, basically. So generally, Pales don't like Darks, so they will fight Darks. Darks and Pales are gonna fight each other if they see each other. And Beasts tend to attack humanoids, like warriors and heroes, and this kind of stuff. So player can use that as leverage to avoid combat, also to maybe wait them to kill themselves, to absorb the essence, and without needing to kill them. Also can try to kill them as they are fighting each other in the easiest way. So this is something that it's are not are intended in the game. Now I got the first key for the first barrier to reach the icon. Killing this enemy, I'm gonna get a new nature, which is air. Let's see if I'm really learning air, so I'm gonna avoid the creature and go back to the teleporters. I'm gonna avoid the battle and just go back to the ancient ruins. But now I have 4 natures. And as player get the natures, player can test the natures to see what the natures does. So let's test air. The air by itself is not a good nature because it doesn't do much. But when we mix to the other natures, then can create very good spells, like the lightning when we mix with light, and with earth it's a very bad combination. Let's see. Light and darkness at this time, it's also not a good combination, created this strange creature here. But in the final game, earth and darkness, we're gonna create a second player. We're gonna make the game, there will be a co-op mode, and to enable the co-op mode, player can using light and darkness to create like a copy, and the second player can help the first player in the game. I cannot guarantee that we're gonna be available in the release in December, but it will be guaranteed to be available in the first DLC or in the first updates that we're gonna release for the game. So as you can see, this gives a dark. This have a dark. Like to heal myself more. I almost dead. Let me. I was incredibly lucky again because I leveling up again, very close to the my death. So it also was lucky because those creatures called Disserteus, they doesn't like the dark ones, so they killed this guy they are called Locamos. He was killed by the Disserteus, which was good for me at this time. This little guy, like insect type of creature, he can cast these green blobs, and it can give player corrupt intoxication, which is damage for time status, which is pretty bad. I almost learned this nature, which is corruption. Let us using Earth Teeth, which is very good in this place, because I can take a lot of gem damage in the very wide area and make it easier to traverse to this place. If you try to traverse to this place just using sword, gonna be a lot of harder, because those creatures will keep throwing us intoxication, and you're gonna get the status. And in the Light of the Darkness, if you got any status, this does not prevent you to get the status again, and it's cumulative. So if you trying to do the same error, the same stuff, the corruption is gonna be stronger and stronger until it will be impossible for you to continue. If you get stacks of intoxications, you're gonna die very, very fast. I just got the intoxication. No, it's not intoxication yet. It's another status that this block can give, which I believe make a player receive more damage. Yeah, make player receive more damage from mystical natures, basically. As you can see, like mystical impediment.
E fragmentas o manue sentientes. Ve como e vubo monerarie e kawaste folanda. Cephius, o ve cosubero eleque quando discorre guardado.
Now I got the intoxication, and I am losing health through time. So if I don't keep attention to my health, I will just die. And that's what happened.
8 minutes.
Me ouvi sancoa o cerro.
80 minutes.
Os Cephius de você moricede, o área finicida.
Let me try to get to the map faster, just to show to you. Now I have no gems, unfortunately, but let me see if I can skip. The good news is the creatures that I die, they continues dead. They don't come. They will not come back from some minutes, from some time. So this can allow player to not be too much punished. So the level doesn't restart completely. But of course, if player takes too long time, they will eventually come back. And here is the map for Ancient Ruins, which I just got. And this is Ancient Ruins. I need to get a key to be able to open a barrier to reach the boss area from this biome, which I believe we will not gonna make in time, but that just continues. Also, the enemy presence has some randomness. Sometimes you can see one type of enemy, sometimes another. It's not always the same. And each creature, it gives different type of nature, different amount of essence. So player can grind natures by searching for kill some specific type of enemy, and by absorbing more and more nature, player can also make the spell become stronger, make the spell giving more damage, and some type of spell combinations demand the absorption of a greater amount of nature. Now here I needed to glide here to get here. Let's use the throwables. As I show now, the spike when we throw it will gonna go through the enemies. So it's very good in situations where there is a lot of enemies fighting each other, because you can throw the spike and just piercing through all of them. 3 minutes. Alright guys, let me go back to the menu because we don't have more time to show you the game. But I believe that you were able to understand how is the game and what features the game has, and this is a small glimpse of what the games can offer. And as I said in the beginning, it's a long journey developing this game. It's a game that has a very unique lore, universe. Actually, I worked on the universe for a lot of years before even started to developing the game. And thank you so much for you to be here to give me the opportunity to show the game. Please, if you like the game, talk to influencers that you like and ask them to talk about the game. It would help us a lot. This is a game that it's not funded yet, so we are developing with our own investment, and of course that's very difficult with a small indie developer from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And having cover from the media and having attention from publishers is very important for the project, even by the fact that we're gonna release the game in December. Having the support for our publisher could be very beneficial for the amount of content that we could provide in the release and on the DLCs after. And also of course wishlist the game, and ask for your friends to wishlist the game and buy the game when they release. Download the demo and play the demo. Give us your feedback. It's very important actually, to tell what you think about the game, what you think that the game needs to be, what improvements you think the game needs to have. We wanted to deliver the best experience possible for the players, and we wanted to continue to develop other games based on the Light of the Darkness franchise. We have the Light of the Darkness Renaissance. You can also take a look into the page for that game. It's a bigger scope, more ambitious version of the Light of the Darkness, has incredible graphics and other very cool stuff. Thanks so much, and that's it, folks. Bye bye.